Hey guys, it's Quickly again with another video, and this time I've got a review for the Maono Lavalier Mic Basic 7, which is a lavalier mic as the name suggests, and here are my thoughts on it. Now let me just briefly let you guys know why I got a lavalier mic. Now if you have been on this channel for quite a while now, I recently got an A6000 camera. The camera which I'm filming on right now is the same camera. The thing is, the audio quality on the inbuilt mic is pretty much crap. It doesn't really work out. It needs a lot of processing to get it even working in any of my videos. But another problem with this camera is that it does not have a 3.5mm input jack, so that makes it using a microphone quite impossible without an external adapter. So to address that issue, I got a Zoom H1, and I have been using that for quite some time now, and I was really happy with the Zoom. It worked out really well. It really is pretty cool, but the only chink in its armor is when we are taking videos like this, where the camera is really away and I don't have a free hand to just hold the microphone at my mouth. So that's the reason I got a lavalier mic, so it should work out in these situations also. And I was trying to get a lavalier mic. There were a lot of options. There was a option for 179 rupees. There's another one for 300, which was Amazon bestseller, and also there were a few from Audio Technica and also from Boya. But this one came in at the lowest price of about 1200 rupees, which is a steal considering the Boya one costed 2000 rupees at the time and the Audio Technica one was 2.5k at the time. Now I have to say that I did buy the 179 and the 300 rupee version. They're not really good, so let's just get that out of the way. They don't work with audio recorders, they only work with smartphones, and the quality was really bad. Now let's get to this Maono Basic 7 microphone. So this one is a normal microphone, which is a lapel microphone, lavalier microphone, whatever you want to call those. It's a condenser microphone. That means it has a condenser to basically make the audio a little bit more dynamic. If you don't know what a condenser is, you need to check that out. It does have an inbuilt battery, and a spare battery is inside of this one. If you haven't seen the unboxing video which I did for this one, do check that out. The link is in the description below because it shows you what all you get with this, and it's a pretty nice packing. Now on the construction itself, there is a microphone. I'm using the microphone right now, so I cannot fiddle around with it. So I'm going to describe the microphone from the picture I have. There's a microphone and there's a ridiculously long cable, like 20 feet long. Yes, I understand that many times this is hooked up to the camera and you do need that length for it, but for other people it's going to be bunched up like anything else. And there is a condenser in between with the battery compartment in there. Now the condenser also has an on-off switch to switch between an audio recorder or a 2-pole configuration to a smartphone, which is a 3-pole configuration, so you can have the versatility of that. Now about the build quality, this one really surprised me because at 1.2K it is a surprisingly good, well-built microphone. It does have metal, that is the condenser housing, and the battery housing is metal. The clip which you see here, which I'm using to hold on to my lapel, that's also metal and not dinky plastic, so that really scores a few points there, which is really nice to see. I do think the cable is a little bit thin and flimsy, especially for something which is going to have the condenser metal housing hanging onto that, but it hasn't let me down yet, so I think it's going to be cool. It does have a Velcro tie to tie up the excess cable if you are not using that, which I have done myself, and it works out really well and it's a pleasant thing to have. Now let's get to the actual reason why you are watching this video, the audio quality. In short, it's great. It works out really well, and the main reason for me to jump from a Zoom H1, which is my audio recorder, to a lapel mic is to improve the versatility of it. And I have to say, it really does. I'm not really tethered to one spot where my camera is. I can move around, I can go away, I can do this sort of video, and it works out really well. Now I've devised a series of tests to let you guys know how the audio quality is. Now I'm going to compare this with my built-in microphone on my A6000 Sony, a smartphone just with a basic audio recorder, the Zoom H1 without a wind protection or a dead cat with a dead cat on a Zoom H1, and the lapel mic on the Zoom H1 and the lapel mic on a smartphone, seeing that it also has an option to switch between an audio recorder and microphone. I think it's only fair to test that out too. Now also I have devised these audio samples in two environments. One is without any external noise, that is with no fans running, my computer fan is off and there is no extra noises in between other than the static. And the other situation is with a ceiling fan running, with my computer fan running, normally what I would expect of my room. Actually this is my room, and how I will be using this in an ideal solution where I would have the least amount of work to do. So now all these audios, there are a few things common. These are all unedited. These are taken from this distance, which is about 15 centimeters, 10 to 15 centimeters away from my mouth. It's a fairly filled room with a lot of furniture and a lot of peripherals here and there. So echoes should be minimum. So yeah, have a listen. So this is a recording of the audio quality on the A6000 without the fan. This is a recording on a smartphone with a very basic audio recorder without any background noises. This is a recording on the Zoom H1 at gain of 75. This is a recording on the Zoom H1 with the dead cat without any noises. This is a recording on the lapel mic without any noises at gain of 75. This is a recording on the lapel mic with the smartphone without any background noises. So this is a recording on the A6000 with the fan and my computer fan running. This is a recording on a smartphone with a very basic audio recorder with the ceiling fan and the computer fans running. So this is the recording on the Zoom H1 with all the noises without the dead cat. This is the recording on the Zoom H1 with background noise of the fan and the computer with the dead cat. This is a recording on the lapel mic at gain of 75 with the ceiling fan and the computer fans running. This is a recording on the lapel mic with the ceiling fan and the computer running on the smartphone. So there you have it. I'm not going to pick a winner in this one because I'm going to leave that to you, because I'm fairly confused between all the results. The Zoom H1 and the Lavalier mic in all configurations works out really well. Both of them are independently pretty good and I'm really happy about that. I think we can all agree that the A6000 and the smartphone just without a lapel mic, it's not as good as the other ones. To be extremely honest, I was a little bit disappointed with the omnidirectional pickup pattern of the Lavalier mic because I really need directional sound. That's the main reason I got the Zoom H1, because it does have a directional audio pickup, so that works out really well for me because I normally stand behind the camera and talk to it. So that does work out really well for me. But at 1.2K, I'm okay with that. By the way, I spent about 7K on the Zoom H1. In the grand scheme of things, the Lavalier mic was a much better investment for me than the pricey audio recorder. But having a Lavalier mic is a much better alternative, and I really like this because I can make videos like this where I don't really sound too distant with this. Also, I was interested in comparing between the Lavalier mic with my smartphone and also with my audio recorder, which is a dedicated audio recorder. And to be honest, it's almost the same. There's nothing much difference in there. So, conclusion time. Is the Lavalier mic from Maono Basic 7, that's the name of it, worth its price? Now, considering I paid about 7,000 rupees for the Zoom H1, of course it is. I only paid about 1,200 rupees for this, and in the grand scheme of things, this is a really cheap price to pay for good audio quality. Now, I have checked the prices for this exact audio solution, but I think it has gone up to about 2,000 rupees. But there are other options like Boya, which has come down in price to about 1.5K. You can choose that either. I'm gonna say it's going to be almost the same audio quality as this one. Now, don't get me wrong, the Zoom H1 has its own strength. Like having a dedicated audio recorder is really good because my camera does not have an input jack, and it gives me a little bit more versatility, and also directional audio is still greater with the Zoom H1, works out really well. But for general audio related options like this one, like online based video YouTubing, this one is really good. It works out really well, and you don't even need an audio recorder if you don't have one. You can use your smartphone. In the smartphone mode, works out really well. It's pretty cool. So I guess that much is it about the Maono Lavalier Mic Basic 7. As I've already said, it's a really good bang for the buck. It works out really well. It has been working for me for quite some time, and considering I paid a lot for that, it's a steal. You can use that. You will have a much better audio than the onboard audio which you might be using on your camera. So I guess that much is it about the video then. Hope you guys liked the video. Please subscribe and like the video if you found it useful. See you guys next time. Bye.